friends, welcome back to the studio. I'm so happy you're here. Today we're painting a beautiful blue butterfly with soft botanical elements. This is such a calming and creative piece with a focus on gentle layers, delicate detail, and letting the watercolor flow. Whether you're a beginner or just here for a relaxing painting session, I hope you'll grab your supplies and paint along with me. I started by drawing this butterfly freehand, just with a soft pencil sketch of a butterfly, a small flower and some simple leaves. If you'd like to follow along more easily, I've made this sketch available as a downloadable template. You'll find the link in the description below. You can print it out and trace it using a light pad or even a bright window. Before I start painting, I always tape my watercolor paper down to a firm surface. This prevents the paper from buckling and also gives you a nice clean white border around your finished piece, which is especially helpful if you are painting your entire background. For this painting, we won't be filling in the entire background, but we'll tape it down just to make sure our piece of paper is stable. For a quick tip, when you are putting your tape onto your paper, you can tear off a piece and then press the tape onto your clothing before sticking it down. It sounds crazy, but this reduces the stickiness just enough to avoid damaging the paper when you peel it off later. Here are the materials I'm using today. 300 gram cold press watercolor paper in A5 size. I'm using 2 Escoda brushes, size 4 and 2. A Micron 01 pen, and Faber-Castell Pitt pens S and M. A ceramic palette, which is great for color visibility, and a glass jar of water and a paper towel. I'm also using a white gel pen for final details towards the end. My watercolor palette today includes cerulean blue, phthalo blue, alizarin crimson, purple lake, cadmium yellow, raw umber, sap green, forest green, and Payne's grey. Once the sketch is done, I go in with my Micron 01 pen and begin outlining the butterfly using fine lines for the smaller details, especially the wings and the body. Then I bring in my Faber-Castell pens, size S and M, to add thicker lines and contrast around the outer wings and more structured areas. I don't outline everything. I like to leave some lines open or lighter, which keeps the piece expressive and organic. When the ink is completely dry, I use a soft eraser to gently remove the pencil marks underneath. This keeps everything clean and prevents the graphite from mixing with the paint. start the painting, I lay down a light cerulean blue wash over the entire butterfly, the wings, the body, the flower, and even the leaf areas. This gives everything a cool, cohesive undertone and helps unify the piece right from the beginning. Keep the wash light and fluid. It's just our base layer to start. Next, I move into the butterfly, which is really the focal point of this painting. I start adding in purple lake to some of the wing segments, building it up slowly in light washes. Let the water move the pigment around naturally and have fun playing with the effects. Then I deepen the colour using phthalo blue, working in layers and letting areas dry between each pass. This creates a soft gradient effect and gives the wings a lot of dimension. If you notice any hard edges forming as the paint dries and you'd prefer a smoother blend, just use a damp brush to softly scrub the edges. It will help everything flow together more gently and create a softer gradient. For the body, I layer phthalo blue first, then I add some Payne's grey to bring in shadow and contrast. Once those layers of the butterfly are done, I move on to the flower and the leaves, but these are intentionally simplified, just soft shapes to frame the butterfly without drawing too much attention. I use cadmium yellow on the flower, layering it over the blue base. Then I brighten it up with a second layer of yellow, keeping that soft, cool undertone peeking through underneath. The leaves are painted using sap green and forest green, with a touch of raw umber for variation. I keep the shape solid and stylized, more decorative than realistic. This keeps the visual weight focused on the butterfly and creates for an interesting piece. If you found this tutorial helpful, please like and subscribe for more watercolor tutorials and creative inspiration. Now I return to the butterfly and use Payne's grey to define the outer edges of the wings, darken areas that need more contrast, and add a little extra structure to the body. This grey is such a lovely, soft alternative to black. It deepens the tones without overpowering the colour underneath. And remember, watercolour isn't about perfectly painting within the lines. There's a freedom in letting the colour flow a bit, and that's part of the charm and what I love so much about working with watercolour. To tie everything together, I gently bleed colour into the background using leftover cerulean blue, phthalo blue, purple lake and sap green. This creates a soft, dreamy background and adds an artistic flair to the piece. Just keep it light. Let the water do most of the work. This helps break up the white space of the background and makes the butterfly feel more grounded in its environment. Once everything is dry, I grab my white gel pen and add tiny highlights and details. A few sparkles here and there, some lines on the flower petals, little veins on the leaves, and even a few hairy-like marks on the butterfly's body. Finally, I use my fine liner, my black fine liner, one last time to touch up and refine any outlines that may have softened during the painting process. Just a few gentle adjustments to pull the whole piece together. And that's it. Our butterfly watercolor is complete. I love how soft and expressive it turned out to be, with the butterfly taking center stage and the florals playing a gentle supporting role. If you painted along, I'd love to see your version. Tag me on Instagram or Pinterest, or let me know in the comments below. You can find the printable template, Patreon link, and all of the supplies I used in the description. Thanks so much for painting with me today, and as always, happy creating.